So let's begin our first class for 2024. So we'll begin as we usually do by first settling the body. So to do this, make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position so that you are balanced and steady. So you can either be cross-legged, you could have your legs out in front, you could sit on a chair, whatever's right for you. But just make sure that your base is steady. Check in with your spine, ensure that your spine is straight and your head and neck are in line with the spine. And also lightly close the eyes and the mouth. Ensure the shoulders are back and down, but relaxed. And the hands are placed in the mudra of your choice, gently on the knees. And take a long, deep inhalation right into the abdomen. And as you exhale, release all of the events of the day. And again, take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, release all of the interactions and conversations that you've had so far today. Just let them all go. And one more time, take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, as you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you need to do after the class. And just allow yourself to be right here in this present moment. There's nothing else you need to do right now. And return now to the natural breath, breathing gently through the nostrils. And in a moment, we'll move the awareness through the body. And as we do, please pay careful attention to any soreness or pain you may be experiencing, just so that when we're doing the practices in the class, that you listen to your body and work within your body's constraints and within the movement of your own body. And if something isn't right for you, you can either do something else or even just visualize the practice. So now move the awareness into the soles of the feet and then really gradually move the awareness through the body, up through into the ankles and the tops of the feet, and then into the shins and the calves, into the knees, into the thighs, and into the buttocks, and up through the hands, so the fingers and the palms, the back of the hands and the wrists, and up through the forearms to the elbows, and into the tops of the arms, the upper arms. And now move the awareness through the torso, so up through the abdomen and also along the spine, moving the awareness right up through the torso to the top of the torso, top of the spine and the chest, and now into the shoulders and the neck, bringing the awareness into the head and into the face and releasing any tension in the face, before finally resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at the eyebrow center, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times, and I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to the wisdom traditions and to pay respect between teacher and student and teacher, so that we can all learn together. Breathing in now for Om chanting. Om. Om. Om, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinat Pakitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. And now moving very gently, we'll move into the base position, Parambic Stiti, with the legs out in front of the body. And then the hands behind the buttocks with the fingers pointing away. So we'll begin first with ankle bending. So before we do that, just check in with your posture and make sure that you are sitting up straight. Placing the awareness in the ankle joints. Exhale and bring the feet down towards the floor. Inhale, bring the feet back towards the body. This is one round. Complete 5 rounds, trying to coordinate the breath with the movement and really focusing on just the effect this practice has on the ankle joints. What's going on for you in the ankle joints. You can even close your eyes as you're completing this practice just to really withdraw the senses. When you've completed your 5 rounds, just sit for a few moments and just reflect on the effects of it. And before we move on to the next practice. And we'll move now to, it's a form of knee bending, but what we'll do is bringing the right knee to the chest, clasp the hands underneath the arch of the right foot. Again, check in with your posture, you're sitting up straight. Inhale, bring the leg up without pushing down on the knee, where it's comfortable for you. Exhale, bringing the foot back to the floor. Complete 5 rounds in total. Again, moving along with the breath, aiming for that body breath mind connection. Placing the awareness in the knee joint and just observing what's going on for you in the knee. Again, not pressing down on the knee. You may notice after each round that you can actually bring the leg up a little bit higher, just gradually. And when you've completed your 5 rounds, be careful to bring the foot back to the floor and then slide the leg along the floor until it's outstretched again, just to protect the knee. Take a few moments now in between the sides of right and left and just observe the difference in the knee joint, the right knee compared to the left. And then when it's right for you, bring the left knee to the chest, place the hands underneath the arch of the left foot, and complete the practice on the left side of the body. Again, inhaling as you bring the bottom half of the leg up, exhaling as you bring the foot back to the floor. Not putting the foot on the floor, but just bringing it down towards the floor. And then again, once you finish your fifth round, bringing the foot flat to the floor and gently bringing the leg out, stretched along the floor again, coming back to the base position. And again, just observing. We'll move now to the hips. So for this practice, we'll do Tatali Asana, the butterfly posture. So bringing both knees to chest, then allowing the knees to stretch out towards the floor, bring the soles of the feet together, bringing the feet in as close as is comfortable for you, and just allowing the knees to fall towards the floor. Don't push them or strain in any way, just allow them to fall naturally. And then inhale, bringing the knees towards the arms. Exhale, knees towards the floor. So complete 10 rounds or up to 10 rounds, quite slowly, just again, trying to synchronize the breath with the movement, placing the awareness in the hip joints, and just observing the gentle opening of the hips from this practice. And when you've completed your 10th round, bringing the knees together, and again, just allowing the legs to fall along the floor so they're outstretched again. Come back to base position and just observe. We'll move now to the upper body, and we'll begin with wrist bending. So bringing the arms out at shoulder height. Inhale and bring the fingers up to pointing to the ceiling. So it's like you're pushing against the wall. Exhale and then point the fingers down towards the floor. Placing the awareness in the wrist joint and just observing the release of muscles in the wrists and also of the forearms as you complete 5 rounds of this practice. Checking in with your posture, making sure your spine is straight. And when you've completed your 5th round, press the arms down again with the hands on the knees. Again, observing the movement of energy from the practice. And we'll move now to elbow bending. So we'll do this to the side. So make sure you've got enough room. So bringing the arms out at shoulder height with the palms up. And then inhale, bringing the hands to the shoulders. Exhale, opening up again. And making sure you're stretching out through your palms to open up the chest. And complete 5 rounds in this way. Stretching out through the fingers, opening up the chest and the lungs as you inhale. Exhale, bringing them back. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, bringing fingertips to the shoulders. And once you finish your 5th round, if you're not too tired in the upper body, bring the fingertips to the shoulders when you're completed, and then bring the elbows together in front of the body, ready for shoulder rotation. So inhale, bringing the elbows up, back, exhaling on the downward movement, bringing the elbows down behind the body and bringing the elbows in front of the body. Again, this is 1 round. So complete 5 rounds in each direction. Really focusing on the release of muscles in the tops of the shoulders. Again, a great practice if you're sitting at your desk for a long period of time or you've been driving. Don't do it when you're driving, but when you actually take a rest, it's a great circuit breaker. And when you've completed your 5 rounds in your own time, again, working along with the breath, there's no rush. Rest your arms down again with the hands on the knees. Closing the eyes, and again, just observing the movement of energy from the practice. We'll move now to neck rotation. So before we go into this practice, please be very gentle with the neck and just work within your range of movement. And particularly with the first round, just be very gentle just to ease into it to know what you can and can't do. So again, checking your head and neck are aligned and your spine is straight. Inhale, but then as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest and then bring the right ear to the right shoulder as you inhale, bringing the head back behind to where it's comfortable for you. Then left ear to left shoulder, exhaling as you bring the chin back to the chest. This is 1 round. Complete 5 rounds in each direction. Making the movements very smooth and fluid. No jerking, abrupt movements. Very smooth. And just observing the release of muscles on each side of the neck from this practice. And when you've completed the practice, keeping the eyes closed, and again, just observing the effect of all the practices so far, from your ankles to your knees and up to your hips, your wrists and elbows and shoulders and neck. Our next practice will be rowing the boat. So again, bringing the legs out in front of the body, checking your posture, bringing the hands, put the thumbs on the palms and wrap the fingers around the thumbs and making them at shoulder height. Inhale, stretching the arms up above the body, and as you exhale, lean forward to where is right for you. So bringing the hands on either side of the feet or wherever you can reach. And it's like you're rowing a boat. So then bring the hands along the outside of the legs as you lean back. Bring the arms up again, above the head and exhaling. So complete 5 rounds in each direction. And you can go as slowly or as dynamically as you wish. But ensuring that you are sort of leaning back if that doesn't hurt your back, just to feel that working in the abdomen. This is a full body asana. And after your 5th round in one direction, just reverse and do 5 rounds in the opposite direction. And when you've completed the practice, come back to base position and rest for a few moments. And we'll move now into Asana, the cat posture. So coming onto your hands and knees, making sure that the hands are directly below the shoulders and the knees are directly below the hips. And the head's in a neutral position. Inhale and bring the head up towards the ceiling, and you're arching the back so that the abdomen points towards the floor, stretching through the arms just for that extra stretch. Exhale, bring the head in between the arms, arching the back up towards the ceiling. Again, stretching through the arms. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds. Again, trying to make the movement really smooth and fluid. And observing the stretch and the different impacts on the body from this practice. Coordinating the breath with the movement. And then after your final round, come back into Shashankasana, the child posture. Bring the forehead onto the floor, if that's right for you. If you have low blood pressure, please put your hand on fist so that your head's not lower than the heart. But if you're fine, bring forehead to the floor, arms out, either out in front of the body like so, or you can put them beside the legs, whatever works for you. And just allow the body to release into the position. And stay here for your own duration. This is a relaxation posture. And when it's right for you, we'll begin to come up to a standing position, but we'll do head to foot pose first. So bringing the feet flat on the floor, allow the top half of the body to hang over the bottom half of the body. Now, you can either hold the opposite elbow behind the knees. You could just put the hands on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you, but just allow the body to hang. Allow the top half to hang over the bottom half. And then when it's right for you, very gently, very consciously and slowly roll up to a standing position. Stand so that you are steady and comfortable. Check in with the spine again. Shoulders are back and down but relaxed. Eyes are gently closed if that's right for you. And just observe yourself standing. Feel the ground or the floor beneath your feet. And now we're going to do 2 further postures while we're standing. The first one is Trikonasana, which is like a spinal twist. So what we'll do for that is bringing the legs out as far as you can that's so you can still be steady. I'll just move over here. And bringing the arms out at shoulder height, bending the torso forward so it's in line with the floor. Bring the right hand, the fingertips, to be just in between. So just in between. And then the other arm is directly up with the palm facing to the left side. And looking up or just looking ahead's fine. Then come back to center and do it the opposite way. So bringing the left hand, the fingertips to the floor in the middle of where the legs are, bringing the right arm up with the palm facing forward, and then looking up if that's right for you. Complete, and then come up to standing and release the arms. We'll do one more, and because it's quite a new practice. So again, bringing the arms out, torso forward. Bring the right hand, the fingertips to the floor. Left arm straight up, gazing up or forward. And then bring the arms out to the side. Left fingertips in between the legs. Right arm up, gazing up. Arms out to the side again, raising the torso and then dropping the arms. So that's just a new practice. So I thought that's a good spinal twist. Now, our final posture is a balancing posture. So we've done this one many times, a one-legged prayer pose. And so for this, find a point on the wall that is not moving so that you can look at it and remain steady. Then you can begin with the by using the right leg. So put it on the inside of the left leg, the sole on the inside of the left leg where is right for you. So it may be just where you are putting the heel towards the left ankle, if that works, or you can put it on the inside. Best thing to do is not put it on the inside of the knee, but if you can bring it up, so you can bring it in and then bringing the hands in prayer position. And then when you're steady, you can bring the arms above the head. But if that makes you unsteady, you can just stay here. So complete 2 rounds on each side. So holding for when is right for you. I find the first time I do this, after a while, I'm always a bit unsteady. So just getting back into it again. And then when you've completed your 2 rounds, come down and sit in a comfortable position, ready for pranayama. And so again, trying to settle the body again. We've done a lot of movement. So sitting comfortably with the legs crossed or whatever's right for you, and making sure again the spine's straight and head and neck are aligned, and closing the eyes and bringing the awareness to the natural breath, allowing the breath to regulate and observing the natural breath as it moves through the nostrils and it fills the abdomen with air and then the chest with air. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. Just allowing the breath to regulate. And then once the breath is back to its natural state, our pranayama practice for this class will be Nadi Shodhanam, which is with the right hand, alternate nostril breathing. So bringing the first and middle finger to the eyebrow center, and then placing the thumb of the right hand over the right nostril, breathe through the left nostril, then cover the left nostril with the ring finger, exhale and out of the right nostril, so removing the thumb and allowing the exhalation, and then inhaling through the right nostril to the eyebrow center, covering the right nostril, uncovering the left, and exhaling out of the left nostril. So continue this practice. So inhaling in the left, exhaling from the right, inhaling from the right, and exhaling from the left. And remembering to breathe into the abdomen, not just shallow breaths in the chest area. So we'll continue this practice for another minute or so. This practice helps to bring balance between the right and the left nostrils, which are Ida and Pingala, and then it allows then an even volume of oxygen to get to the brain and the eyebrow center. This is why during this practice, when you finish the practice, you feel very still and calm. And now when you next exhale out of the left nostril, release the hands down. And then just focus now, keeping the eyes closed, on breath going through both nostrils to the eyebrow center. And now, moving very consciously and slowly, lie down in Shavasana to prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. So depending on where and when you are watching this, ensure that you are either warm enough or cool enough, depending on where you are, and that you are comfortable, just so that you don't need to move throughout the practice. If for some reason you do so very slowly and consciously. So lying down in Shavasana on the back with the legs hip width apart and any tension in the legs released so that the feet are lolling to the sides. The arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up, and the head and neck are in line with the spine. And to check this, you may like to just tuck in your chin just a little, just to check that you are aligned. And there's balance between the left and the right side of the body. And take a long, deep yogic breath in. And as you exhale, release your body into the floor. And take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, as you exhale, release any remaining tension, particularly in the face. So check that you're not clenching your jaw. There is no expression in the face. and that you're not clenching the muscles behind the eyes. Just let it all go. And returning now to the natural breath, observe the body's contact with the floor. Observe the feeling of the heels against the floor and the back of the legs against the floor. And feel the buttocks against the floor. Feel the back and the shoulders against the floor. Feel the back of the arms and the back of the hands against the floor. And the neck and the back of the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact create one singular point of contact between the body and the floor. And now observe sounds. So move the awareness to sounds far away, but don't try and identify any sounds. Just move your awareness from one sound to the next as you hear it. And now move the awareness to sounds just outside the room that you are in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the room that you are in. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now move the awareness to the sound and the sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have a Sankalpa, leave some space because it may emerge on its own. And we'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen to my instructions, and when I say the name of a body part, place your awareness there, visualize that body part, and mentally repeat the name of that part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. Moving now over to the left side of the body, beginning with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And now moving to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, the backs of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. Moving now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the eyes, the nose, the ears, cheeks, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together, the whole torso, the whole head, the whole neck, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. Release the body rotation now and return the awareness back to the natural breath. And observe how subtle the natural breath has now become. Observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. And we'll now add a count to the natural breath, following along in the following way. Counting backwards from 14. It shall go like this. Breathing in 14. Breathing out 14. Breathing in 13. Breathing out 13. Counting backwards from 14. If you lose count, begin again. And if you reach 1, begin again. And if the mind wanders, use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to this practice. Release the count now, and instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels so cold, feels like it's out in the snow on a freezing winter's day. The cheeks feel cold, the fingers and the toes feel numb. The body's feeling colder and colder, like it's outside in the snow on a freezing winter's day. Release this feeling of coldness now and exchange it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels like it's outside with full sun on a sweltering summer's day. The face feels hot. The hands and the feet feel clammy and sweaty. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's outside in full sun on a steamy, scorching summer's day. Release this feeling of heat now and exchange it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body's feeling lighter and lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. It feels as light as a feather or as light as a cloud, like it may drift away at any moment. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, like it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy that it feels like it may even fall through the floor. The body feels so heavy like it's pressing against the floor. The body's feeling heavier and heavier like it's made out of concrete and it's pressing against the floor. Release this feeling of heaviness now and release all of these sensations completely. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. And instead now, go to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes, Chitta Kush. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize or create the following objects and images. You're standing on a beach just before dawn and you feel very heavy. You feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you feel tired and lethargic, but you walk towards the water's edge as you see that crack of light on the horizon. You step into the water and you feel instant relief. You feel as though it's like a warm bath, like a warm hug lapping around your ankles. And you can hear birds in the trees just at the edge of the shore beginning to stir as the new day begins. And you smell the sweet scent of frangipani in the air. And you can also hear, while it's quiet, you still hear the sort of hush of the waves on the horizon. And as the light gently begins to increase, you step further and further into the water. You can see already that it's very clear and warm and inviting. And as you keep going further into the water, any tiredness or heaviness on your soul is released. And you're into the water now, and you're up to your neck, and you decide to go right underneath the water. And as you do, you feel a full release. And as you emerge up again, you see the golden sunbeam pointing your way from the horizon, and you feel that it actually hits you in your heart space, and you feel pure joy in that moment. You feel renewed, you feel rejuvenated, you feel fresh and clear and alive. And you decide now to walk back up to the shore, feeling completely different than you did when you first walked into the water. A whole weight is lifted and you feel light. And now it's time to come back and lie down on your mat. And you call to mind your Sankalpa from the beginning of the practice. If you have the Sankalpa, mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because it may emerge on its own. And begin now to feel the breath again in the body. Allow the breath to deepen. And as you do, observe the movement it creates in the body. Observe how the breath pushes the back against the floor. And now begin to remember the details of the room that you are in. As you begin to gently allow your body to externalize, do so first with the mind and remember the details of the room, the color of your mat, color of your clothing, and remember the time of day. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. So begin to make gentle movements with the fingers and the toes and move and stretch in a way that's right for you. Moving very gently and allowing the body to gently wake up from the Yoga Nidra practice. You may like to move your head gently from side to side or even lie on your right side, allowing the body to externalize. And when it's right for you, gently come up into a comfortable sitting position. Keeping the eyes closed or downcast, just to try and maintain this peaceful state you've created. And now in a comfortable position, we'll move the awareness through the body like we did at the beginning of the class, and this time compare how you're feeling now to how you felt at the beginning. So bring the awareness now to the soles of the feet and gently move the awareness up through the feet and the ankles and into the shins and calves, into the knees, up through the thighs and the buttocks, and into the hands now, to the wrists, up through the arms, towards the shoulders, and now moving the awareness gently up through the torso and the back, right up through the spine. Now into the neck, the back of the head, and the face, before gently resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And now, together, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the practice. Breathing in for Om chanting. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.